Hi, thank you for checking out my review for Downton Abbey, the grand finale, which is coming to you on 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray from Universal on November 11th. Thanks to Mandy Rogers for sending me a copy for review. Here's what we have. This, of course, is, like it says, the grand finale to the 15-year, I think it's been around, TV series that was itself a global phenomenon. As you see here, this comes with both Blu-ray and 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray copies of it, which bonus features are on both, equal bonus features on both. So here we are. So with Downton Abbey, I thought I'd do a fun experiment. I have never seen one episode of Downton Abbey. It's something that was on like my back burner around the time it was getting quite popular, but I never picked it up or checked it out. And I don't think at this time I was going to go back and check it out. It's British costume drama. It's stuff I would enjoy, and I know I would enjoy it, but it's just like, you know what, time has flown by. Don't think that's going to happen. I didn't catch up to prep for this. I just thought, you know what would be fun? Let's see how this works. If I've never seen an episode or met these characters, you know, I'm very aware of Downton Abbey, and I've seen the trailers for the previous two movies when they were coming out. So I was like, you know what, let's go in cold in the final one, missing 55 episodes, I think 55 episodes and 2 movies, and see how I feel about it. And you know what, to my delight, no problems keeping along. I'm sure there's a lot of character and event things mentioned or joked about that went over my head, but really, this thing was set up and the characters so wonderfully portrayed and delivered in dialogue with other people and the plot and whatnot that I had no problem keeping along. It was quite enjoyable. I really did like it quite a bit. Has a nice themes of, you know, generations coming to an end, time passing by, things changing, having to evolve, not wanting to get rid of old traditions while wanting to buck certain old traditions as well. It talks about very much hits the forefront of what divorce meant in old British society, how it was looked down upon, and the high class people weren't supposed to be divorced, and if you did, you were like a black spot, or you know, just you were cast out from social events and stuff like that, and people didn't want to associate with you. You became all of a sudden a villain of sorts. You know, the getting rid of the perfection of what the upper class society was supposed to be. But yeah, quite fun. Dominic West is the actor I really like. He appears in a fun role in this. Everybody, you know, it's all like, you know, well-oiled machine at this point with this, but everybody's quite good in their roles. I enjoyed the dialogue in this, the conversations. Paul Giamatti's quite fun. He pops up in here. But overall, like, I felt it. I felt in tune with these characters, and I really did feel for the finale of it all, even though I hadn't been there for this whole journey. It's done in such a well-constructed way that a newbie like me was able to fit right in and enjoy it. I'm quite surprised. I thought I was like, might get lost here and there, but you know what? For a one-off that, you know, I never seen, and there's a lot of history in these characters, performances, plots, shows that, you know, there's some between the bonus features and a couple flashbacks in here. Like there's looks like some crazy stuff went down at the Downton Abbey. All right, just saying. But there's a nice little beautiful way to pay tribute to Maggie Smith, who was in this cast and passed away, but before this film would be in production. I kind of like how they did the show. It looks like they did the show till about 2015. They waited 4 years. They did a movie, and then they did a movie every 3 years. So they did one in 2019, 2022, and 2025 now. And now it's over, and I feel like it's going to be over. I love that they were like, you know what? Let's close this. Let's close in a time where we can't let things go, can't finish things. It's refreshing to see someone say, you know, it's finale. And this is a TV show thing. They could have just picked up Downton Abbey every so often and continued and continued and continued. Granted, it's a rather large cast to try to you know, pull that off with, but they could have, and they said, nah, we have found a spot, and I admire that. So many things get resurrected. Now watch Downton Abbey Resurrection comes out in 3 years, but I like that. I think that's nice. We told our story. Like, people can do fan fiction, or maybe they could do books that continue Downton Abbey. But I really love the fact that they're like, let's close this off. Let's cap it. A trilogy of movies to go with our seasons of television, and I applaud them for that. That's quite nice to think about nowadays. Because it's all about how do we keep stringing this along. So, Downton Abbey, the movie that I'd never, this is my first experience with it. I give it a 3.5 out of 5. I really did enjoy it. I really did. Let's move on to the video for this. It comes encoded HEVC H.265 with the original 239:1 aspect ratio and a 2160p or 4K picture. And the image is gorgeous on here. Imagine this is a digitally shot film, and for digitally shot film, it does look wonderful. It's got great depth. The color palette here is gorgeous, and between rustic, normal, like regular looking things to luscious dresses and drapes, tablecloth, like things like that look amazing. The detail is to the touch. Everything looks really polished, and it's got a distinct look to it. Very strong, very strong. I really thought it was a great looking picture, and I'm going to give a 5 out of 5. And then we move on to the audio here. We get a English Dolby Atmos track, a Spanish 5.1 Dolby Digital track, and a French 7.1 Dolby Digital track. Accompanying them are subtitles that are English SDH, Spanish, and French. And the audio now, Downton Abbey doesn't sound like a whole lot's going on, but the spatial audio works quite well here because they do go to a horse race that's rather loud. The clip clop and stuff, subwoofer gets that quite right. Nothing is like boom pounding, but it's the right amount of decent for something that's a period drama like Downton Abbey, with great costumes and sets. There's a theater productions that, there's some echoing and stuff that can go around the top speakers that don't have a whole lot of utilization here, but in terms of score and stuff, like a nice weaving with the music in concert here. And the dialogue is, of course, at the forefront and very impactful, powerful, and effective. And even the quiet scenes feel kind of nice and lived in and real, like you're in a room with the people. It's a very, very good Atmos track that I'm going to give a 4.5 out of 5. We do get some extras for you Downton Abbey heads or Downtoners. There's a commentary with director Simon Curtis and Elizabeth McGovern. We have Changing Times, which is 11 minutes and 33 seconds. It's kind of a generic setup featurette, talking about the crew and the cast, talking about the story, where the characters are at here and where they've been and what they bring. Kind of like that. And then we have Society Season, which is 13 minutes and 25 seconds. This talks about the new environments they're bringing to Downton Abbey. Like, you get the horse race, as I mentioned before. There's the West End, London. There's a theater and stuff. So they're talking about how they're put together those sets, areas, how they fit in the story, kind of add a historical background to them, and things like that. We get Authentic to the Core, which is 7 minutes, 13 seconds. And this talks about tackling the issues and the places, events, and the way people were about the time and keeping it down to earth and accurate. Farewell to the Fans, which is 2 minutes and 8 seconds. And it looks like there was some sort of Q&A going on, like a pre-recorded Q&A where the cast is sitting there as a questioner, but it's the people talking about what the fans have meant to the show and how they talk about how many times they've watched it and what it means, and all over the world, being a global phenomenon that it was. And then Downton Abbey celebrates the grand finale, which is 42 minutes and 6 seconds. This is a TV special from NBC that is introduced by Michelle Dockery, and it takes place at the Savoy Hotel, and cast members slowly pile in as they recall their memories of Downton Abbey, why they feel good for closing it off, everything else, and just reflective. Everybody getting together, hugging, and having Downton Abbey branded tea with everything. I do think this is a nice set of bonus features for this, so I'm going to give it a 3 out of 5 for the bonus. So let's take it back. The movie I gave a 3.5 out of 5. The image video I gave a 5 out of 5. The audio gave a 4.5 out of 5. Extras 3 out of 5. With an overall score for Downton Abbey, I'm going to give a 4 out of 5. Fans of this will want to pick it up. It'll probably go at a nice sale price here in the near future. I think it's a complete package for a new film. There's probably a lot of Downton Abbey bonus material already. If I'm wrong, fans, let me know. But yeah, I think it gets the job done. I mean, this is the finale. There's plenty of stuff here. There's like an hour 15 or so of bonus materials for people to dig into after the movie, and it's presented top notch. So that's what I think of Downton Abbey. This is available November 11th. You can pre-order now. You can use the link in the description for this video from Amazon Associates. That helps me out, helps the podcast. Everything else is always appreciated. And yeah, you can pick yourself up a copy November 11th. Thanks to Mandy Montgomery Marketing once again. And thank you for watching. And as always, stay film positive.